I'm about to reveal something that might shock you, something you're probably doing right now, tonight, tomorrow night, every single night. Something that's silently destroying your blood pressure control, raising your stroke risk, damaging your heart while you sleep. And the worst part? You have no idea it's happening. Brand new research from the European Society of Cardiology and Turkish University is forcing cardiologists to completely rethink nighttime hypertension. They studied over 700 people with high blood pressure, tracked their eating habits, monitored their blood pressure around the clock, and what they discovered was stunning, absolutely stunning. The people eating dinner after 7 o'clock at night were 3 times more likely to have uncontrolled high blood pressure. 3 times. Not 30% more likely, not twice as likely. 3 times more likely. And here's what's terrifying. Late-night eating had a bigger impact on blood pressure than salt intake, bigger than sodium consumption. A late dinner was more dangerous than eating potato chips and canned soup all day long, but it gets worse. When researchers tracked blood pressure patterns over 24 hours, they found something that explains why so many people's medications stop working, why your pressure seems controlled at the doctor's office, but you're still having problems, why you're doing everything right during the day and still at high risk for stroke. Your blood pressure isn't dropping at night like it should. It's staying elevated. In some cases, it's actually going up while you sleep. They call it reverse dipping, and it's a death sentence. People with this pattern have dramatically higher rates of stroke, heart attack, heart failure, kidney damage, even death, all because of when they eat dinner. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why eating late destroys your blood pressure control, the specific time cutoff that separates safety from danger, and most importantly, how to fix this tonight. Not next week, not next month. Tonight. Because every night you eat late is another night your blood pressure stays dangerously elevated while you sleep. Let me tell you about Patricia. Patricia was 68 years old, retired office manager, spent 43 years managing schedules, organizing files, keeping everything running smoothly at a busy medical practice. The kind of person who never missed a deadline, never forgot an appointment, everything precise, everything organized, everything controlled, except her blood pressure. She'd been fighting it for 7 years. Started at age 61, routine physical. Doctor wrapped the cuff around her arm, pumped it up. Watch the numbers, 148/92, elevated, not dangerous yet, but definitely high. Let's start with lifestyle changes, her doctor said. Cut back on salt, lose some weight, exercise more, come back in 3 months. 3 months later, Patricia was back. She'd done everything. Cut her salt to under 1,500 milligrams daily, lost 12 pounds, started walking 30 minutes every morning, blood pressure check, 145/90, slightly better, but still high. Her doctor prescribed lisinopril, 10 milligrams daily. Take it in the morning. Come back in 6 weeks. 6 weeks passed. Blood pressure check, 142/88. Improvement, but not quite controlled. Doctor increased the lisinopril to 20 milligrams, said, let's give it another 2 months. See where we are. 2 months later, 138/84. Getting close. Almost there. Her doctor seemed pleased. Said, you're doing great. Keep it up. Come back in 6 months for a check. But then something happened. Over the next year, despite taking her medication every single morning without fail, Patricia's blood pressure started climbing again, slowly, insidiously, like water rising in a bathtub. 142/86, then 146/88, then 150/92, then 154/94. Each appointment worse than the last. Her doctor was puzzled. You're taking the medication, right? Every day? Patricia said yes. Every single morning, 7 o'clock, with breakfast, never miss. He believed her, added amlodipine, 5 milligrams daily, now 2 medications, 2 pills every morning with her oatmeal. 3 months later, 148/90, better. But within 6 months, same frustrating pattern, creeping up. 152/92, then 156/94, then 160/96. Her doctor added hydrochlorothiazide, a water pill, 12.5 milligrams, 3 medications now, 3 pills every morning. And here's what made Patricia's case so absolutely maddening, so frustrating it brought her to tears at night. She was doing everything perfectly, everything her doctor recommended, everything she read about, everything she saw on television health shows. She was walking 45 minutes every single morning, before breakfast, rain or shine, through her neighborhood, past the park, around the lake, back home. Never missed a day, not once in 2 years. She'd cut her salt intake to levels most people couldn't sustain for a week. No restaurant food, no processed food, no canned soup, no frozen dinners. She cooked everything from scratch, measured every ingredient, read every label, tracked every milligram in a notebook. She'd lost 28 pounds, down from 168 to 140. Her BMI had dropped from 27.5, which is overweight, to 22.9, which is smack in the middle of the normal range. Her doctor praised her constantly, said she was his model patient, wished everyone showed this much dedication. Her blood pressure was still 158/96, 3 medications, severe salt restriction, 28 pounds lost, daily exercise for 2 years, still poorly controlled, still dangerously elevated, still putting massive strain on her heart and brain with every beat. Her doctor suggested a 4th medication, metoprolol, a beta blocker, 50 milligrams twice daily. Patricia was devastated. 4 medications? For the rest of her life? She felt like a failure, felt like her body was betraying her, felt like nothing she did mattered. Then her daughter came to visit for Thanksgiving. Her daughter's a nurse practitioner at a major cardiology clinic. She noticed something Patricia's doctor had never asked about, had never even thought to investigate. They were having dinner. Patricia served the turkey at 8:15 in the evening. They sat down to eat at 8:30, finished around 9:30. Patricia's daughter asked, "Mom, what time do you usually eat dinner?" Patricia said, "Oh, around 8 or 8:30 usually. Sometimes 9 if I get busy with errands." Her daughter's eyes went wide. She said, "What time do you go to bed?" Patricia said, 10:30 usually, sometimes 11 if I'm watching a show. Her daughter sat back in her chair, stared at her mother, said, "Mom, you're eating dinner 1 to 2 hours before bed, every single night. That's why your pressure won't come down. That's why the medications aren't working." Patricia was confused. What does dinner time have to do with blood pressure? She'd never heard anything about that. Her doctor never mentioned it. The nutritionist she saw never brought it up. How could when she eats possibly matter? Her daughter pulled up research studies on her phone, showed her the Turkish University study, the European Society of Cardiology findings, the American Heart Association data, all showing the same thing. Eating dinner late, especially within 2 to 3 hours of bedtime, prevents your blood pressure from dropping normally at night. Your body stays on high alert. Stress hormones stay elevated. Blood pressure stays high, all night long, every night. Patricia was stunned. 7 years fighting this, 3 medications, brutal salt restriction, losing 28 pounds, walking every single day. And nobody ever told her when she ate mattered. Nobody asked. Nobody investigated. It never came up. Her daughter said, "Mom, I want you to try something. For the next month, eat dinner no later than 6 o'clock, 3 full hours before bed. Don't change anything else. Same foods, same portions, same medications, same everything. Just move dinner earlier. Track your pressure every morning. Write down the numbers. Let's see what happens." Patricia agreed. That next Monday, she started. Ate dinner at 5:30 in the evening, finished by 6, cleaned up the kitchen, relaxed for the evening, went to bed at 10:30 like always. She checked her blood pressure the next morning, 156/94, about the same, not discouraged. Her daughter said, "Give it time. Your body needs to adjust. Keep going." 1 week later, morning pressure check, 152/92, 4-point drop, small, but measurable. First improvement she'd seen in months. She kept going. 2 weeks later, 148/88, 8-point drop from baseline. She could hardly believe it, called her daughter crying, said, "I think it's working." Her daughter said, "Keep going, don't stop, stay consistent." 3 weeks later, 144/86, 14-point drop. 4 weeks later, 140/82, 18-point drop. From 158/96 down to 140/82. From eating dinner earlier. That's all she changed. Everything else stayed the same. Same medications, same diet, same salt intake, same exercise. Just moved dinner from 8:30 to 5:30. She called her doctor, told him what she'd been doing, showed him her blood pressure log, 4 weeks of readings, clear downward trend, undeniable improvement. He was shocked. Said in 30 years of practice, he'd never seen anything like it, never even thought to ask about dinner timing. They discussed reducing her medications together, started by cutting the hydrochlorothiazide dose in half. 6 weeks later, her pressure was stable at 136/78. Working with her doctor over the next 3 months, Patricia was able to eliminate one medication entirely and reduce the doses of the other 2. From 3 full-dose medications down to 2 low-dose medications, just from eating dinner earlier. But here's the most important part, the part that changes everything. Patricia's daughter had her wear a 24-hour blood pressure monitor, the kind that checks your pressure every 30 minutes around the clock, day and night. Before she changed her dinner time, the monitor showed something terrifying. Patricia's daytime pressure averaged 142/84. Not great, but okay. But her nighttime pressure averaged 148/88. Higher at night than during the day. Reverse dipping, the most dangerous pattern possible. After 8 weeks of eating dinner by 6 o'clock, she wore the monitor again. Daytime pressure averaged 136/80. Better. But nighttime pressure averaged 118/68, a 30-point drop from her previous nighttime readings. Her blood pressure was finally doing what it's supposed to do, dropping at night, dipping normally, giving her heart and blood vessels a chance to rest and recover. Patricia's cardiologist said this nighttime blood pressure reduction probably saved her life, probably prevented a stroke, probably prevented heart failure, all from moving dinner 3 hours earlier. Now comment your typical dinner time below, just the time. I read every single comment. Your engagement helps this video reach more people who desperately need this information. Comment your usual dinner time right now. The mechanism is real. The physiology is documented. The research is solid. And I'm going to explain exactly why eating late destroys your blood pressure control, why it's more dangerous than you ever imagined, and why your doctor probably never told you about it. Your blood pressure follows a natural rhythm over 24 hours. In healthy people, pressure rises in the morning when you wake up, stays elevated during the day when you're active, then drops significantly at night during sleep, usually 10 to 20% lower than daytime readings. This nighttime drop is called dipping, and it's absolutely critical for cardiovascular health. When your pressure dips normally at night, your heart gets to rest. Your blood vessels get to relax. Your entire cardiovascular system gets a break from the constant strain of pumping blood against high resistance. It's like your heart going into recovery mode, healing, repairing, preparing for the next day. But when you eat a large meal late at night, especially within 2 to 3 hours of bedtime, this entire system breaks down, completely falls apart. Your blood pressure doesn't drop. It stays elevated. In some cases, it actually goes up. And here's why. First mechanism, digestive stress response. When you eat a meal, your body has to digest it, break down the food, absorb the nutrients, process everything. This requires massive amounts of energy. Your digestive system demands huge amounts of blood flow. Your heart has to pump harder. Your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight system, gets activated. During the day, this is fine. Your body is already in active mode. Your sympathetic nervous system is already engaged. Your heart is already working hard. Adding digestion to the mix doesn't change much. But at night, your body is supposed to shift into parasympathetic mode, rest and digest mode. Your sympathetic nervous system is supposed to quiet down. Your heart rate is supposed to slow. Your blood pressure is supposed to drop. That's the natural circadian rhythm that evolved over millions of years. When you eat a big meal late at night, you're forcing your body to stay in sympathetic mode, forcing your nervous system to stay activated, forcing your heart to keep working hard when it's supposed to be resting. It's like making someone run a marathon right before bed. The body can't relax, can't recover, stays in high alert mode all night long. Second mechanism, insulin and cortisol dysregulation. When you eat late at night, your insulin response is blunted. Your cells are less sensitive to insulin in the evening than they are in the morning. This is a natural circadian rhythm. Insulin sensitivity is highest in the morning, lowest at night. It's why eating the same meal at 8 in the morning produces a smaller blood sugar spike than eating it at 8 at night. When you eat late and your insulin response is blunted, your pancreas has to produce more insulin to get the same glucose-lowering effect. More insulin means more sodium retention by the kidneys. More sodium retention means more water retention. More water means higher blood volume. Higher blood volume means higher blood pressure. All night long. At the same time, late-night eating disrupts your cortisol rhythm. Cortisol is a stress hormone that normally peaks in the early morning and drops to its lowest point at night. When you eat late, you trigger a cortisol release. Cortisol makes your blood vessels constrict, makes your heart beat faster, raises blood pressure. Exactly what you don't want happening when you're trying to sleep. Third mechanism, circadian clock disruption. Every cell in your body has an internal clock, a circadian rhythm that regulates thousands of different functions, when genes turn on and off, when hormones get released, when enzymes get produced, all timed to the 24-hour day-night cycle. Your cardiovascular system has its own circadian clock. Blood vessel cells have clock genes. Heart cells have clock genes. Kidney cells have clock genes, all synchronized, all working together to produce that healthy nighttime blood pressure dip. When you eat late at night, you're sending a signal to those clock genes that it's still daytime, that the body should still be in active mode. You're disrupting the entire circadian system, throwing it out of sync. The cardiovascular clock gets confused, doesn't know when to shift into nighttime mode. Blood pressure stays elevated. Research published in the American Heart Association journal Hypertension showed this exact mechanism. People who ate more than 30% of their daily calories after 6 p.m. had disrupted cardiovascular circadian rhythms. Their blood vessel cells showed altered clock gene expression. Their nighttime blood pressure didn't drop normally, and they had dramatically higher rates of hypertension, heart attack, and stroke. Fourth mechanism, renal pressure natriuresis failure. Your kidneys regulate blood pressure by controlling how much sodium and water they excrete versus retain. During the day, your kidneys are programmed to retain more sodium and water to maintain blood volume for activity. At night, they're supposed to excrete more sodium and water to reduce blood volume and lower pressure. This process is called pressure natriuresis. When pressure goes up, the kidneys respond by excreting more sodium. When pressure goes down, they retain sodium. It's a beautiful feedback loop that keeps pressure stable. But this system only works correctly when your circadian rhythms are synchronized. When you eat late at night, you disrupt the renal circadian clock. Your kidneys don't shift into nighttime mode. They keep retaining sodium when they should be excreting it. Blood volume stays high. Pressure stays high. All night long. Subscribe to this channel right now. Click that subscribe button. Hit the bell icon. I release videos like this every single week. Evidence-based protocols that actually work. Real research, not internet myths, not supplement marketing. Real science that saves lives. Subscribe right now. And hit the like button. Give this video a thumbs up. Your likes tell YouTube to show this to more people. People who need this information. People whose doctors never told them about dinner timing. People who are struggling with uncontrolled blood pressure despite multiple medications, like it now. But here's the brutal truth. Most people who try to fix this make critical mistakes that destroy any potential benefit. Mistakes that mean they keep eating late without realizing it. Mistakes that mean their blood pressure stays elevated despite their best efforts. Let me tell you about Richard. Richard was 72, blood pressure 164/98, 4 medications. His daughter told him about the dinner timing research, showed him the studies. Richard was willing to try, desperate for anything that might help. He decided to eat dinner earlier, moved it from 8:30 to 6:30, 2 hours earlier. Figured that should be enough. Ate dinner at 6:30. Finished by 7, watched television, then at 9:30 got hungry, made himself a snack, bowl of cereal, couple cookies, glass of milk, ate it while watching the news. Went to bed at 11, did this every single night for a month. Checked his blood pressure weekly, 164/98, 162/96, 165/98, 163/97. No change, no improvement, not 1 point different. Richard decided the whole thing was nonsense. Told his daughter it didn't work, another false hope, another dead end. Stopped even trying. Went back to eating whenever he felt like it. Here's what Richard didn't understand. What nobody explained to him. It's not about when you eat your official dinner, it's about when you stop eating for the night. Your last calorie, your last bite. That's what matters. Richard ate dinner at 6:30. Good, but then ate a substantial snack at 9:30. 2.5 hours later, only 90 minutes before bed. That snack triggered the entire digestive stress response, activated his sympathetic nervous system, raised his insulin and cortisol, disrupted his circadian rhythms, prevented his kidneys from shifting into nighttime mode, destroyed any benefit from the earlier dinner. 5 critical mistakes people make. Mistake number 1, eating dinner earlier but then snacking late. This is the most common mistake. People move dinner to 6 or 6:30, feel virtuous, feel like they're following the protocol, then get hungry at 9 or 9:30 or 10. Have a snack. Bowl of cereal, handful of nuts, piece of fruit, cookies, ice cream. Doesn't matter what it is. Any food triggers the mechanisms I described. Any calories consumed within 3 hours of bedtime will prevent the nighttime blood pressure drop. The rule is simple. 3-hour food-free window before bed. Not before you get into bed, before you fall asleep. If you go to bed at 10:30, your last bite of food should be at 7:30 or earlier. If you go to bed at 11, last bite at 8 or earlier. If you go to bed at 9:30, last bite at 6:30 or earlier. 3 full hours. No exceptions. Mistake number 2, drinking caloric beverages late. People think drinks don't count. Glass of milk at 10 p.m., protein shake at 9:30, glass of wine at 9, hot chocolate at 10. These all contain calories. They all trigger insulin release. They all activate the digestive system. They all count as eating. They all prevent the nighttime pressure drop. The 3-hour rule applies to everything with calories, food and drinks. If it has calories, it counts. Water is fine, black coffee is fine, unsweetened tea is fine. Anything with sugar, milk, cream, alcohol, or any caloric content counts as breaking the fast. Mistake number 3, eating dinner earlier but going to bed later. People eat dinner at 6, proud of themselves, but then stay up until midnight watching television. Dinner was 6 hours before bed. Their body thinks it's starving. Hunger hormones spike. Cortisol rises. Blood sugar drops. Stress response activates. Blood pressure stays elevated. Eating dinner early only works if you also maintain a consistent bedtime. If you normally go to bed at 10:30, eat dinner at 7:30. If you normally go to bed at 11, eat dinner at 8. If you normally go to bed at 9:30, eat dinner at 6:30. 3 hours before your normal bedtime. Keep your bedtime consistent. Don't eat at 6 and then stay up until 1 in the morning. That defeats the entire purpose. Mistake number 4, only doing this occasionally. People eat early Monday through Thursday, then go out to dinner Friday night at 8:30, Saturday night dinner party at 9, Sunday family dinner at 8, 3 out of 7 nights eating late. Wonder why their blood pressure isn't improving. Consistency matters. Your circadian rhythms need consistency to stay synchronized. Your cardiovascular clock needs a regular pattern. Eating early most nights but late a few nights per week disrupts everything, confuses the system, prevents stable blood pressure reduction. You need to eat your last meal 3 hours before bed every single night, 7 nights per week. Not most nights, not weeknights, every night. If you're going out to dinner, go early. Make the reservation for 5:30 or 6 instead of 8. If you're going to a dinner party, eat a small meal before you go and just pick at the food. If you're at a family gathering, eat early and spend the rest of the evening socializing without eating. Find ways to make it work every single night. Mistake number 5, eating dinner early but eating huge portions. People think eating early gives them license to eat as much as they want. Giant dinner at 6 p.m., massive portions, multiple servings, huge dessert. Then wonder why their pressure doesn't improve. The size of your meal matters. A huge meal, even eaten early, takes hours to digest fully, keeps your digestive system activated longer, keeps insulin elevated longer, produces a larger cortisol response. You need to eat a reasonably sized dinner, not tiny, not starvation portions, but reasonable. A portion that fills you up without making you uncomfortably full. Think of dinner as your lightest meal of the day, not your heaviest. Let me tell you about James, because James's story shows what happens when you understand the principles and do everything correctly from the start. James was 75 years old, blood pressure 172/100, dangerously high stroke territory on 4 different medications: lisinopril 40 milligrams, amlodipine 10 milligrams, hydrochlorothiazide 25 milligrams, metoprolol 100 milligrams twice daily, 8 pills per day, and his pressure was still poorly controlled, still terrifyingly high, still putting him at imminent risk for stroke or heart attack. He was suffering from terrible side effects, crushing fatigue from the metoprolol, could barely stay awake past 7 in the evening, would fall asleep in his chair watching television. Wife would have to shake him awake multiple times. Weekends he'd sleep 12 hours at night and still need 2 naps during the day, sleeping his life away. Severe ankle swelling from the amlodipine. His ankles looked like softballs by evening. Shoes didn't fit, had to buy shoes 2 sizes larger. Press a finger into his shin, the indentation would stay for a full minute. Pitting edema, visible, obvious, uncomfortable. Constant dizziness from the combination of medications. Stand up from a chair, the room would spin, have to grab furniture to keep from falling. His wife was terrified he'd fall and break a hip, made him use a cane. Even with the cane, he fell twice. Once in the bathroom, once in the kitchen, bruised, shaken, scared. His doctor was talking about adding a 5th medication or switching to even stronger doses. James was at the end of his rope, couldn't handle more medications, couldn't tolerate more side effects, was already barely functional. Adding more would destroy what little quality of life he had left. His grandson is a medical researcher, specializes in circadian biology. When he visited for Christmas, he noticed James eating dinner at 9 p.m. Asked about his typical meal timing. James said he usually ate dinner between 8:30 and 9. Sometimes later if he got busy. His grandson's eyes went wide. Said Grandpa, "That's why your medications aren't working. That's why your pressure won't come down." Showed him the research, the Turkish study, the AHA data, the European Society of Cardiology findings, explained the mechanisms, the circadian disruption, the sympathetic activation, the cortisol and insulin dysregulation, all of it. James started that night. Ate dinner at 6 p.m., moderate portions, stopped eating completely by 6:30, no snacks after, no drinks with calories, just water. Went to bed at 10:30 like he always did, 4-hour window between last bite and sleep. He checked his blood pressure every morning, same time, 6:30 a.m., before medications, sitting quietly for 5 minutes first, same arm, same position, tracked the numbers in a notebook. Week 1, Day 1, 170/98. Day 7, 164/96. 6-point drop, now small. but movement in the right direction for the first time in years. Week 2, average 160 over 94, 12-point drop from baseline. He kept going, didn't stop, didn't quit, trusted the process. Week 3, average 154 over 90, 18-point drop. He called his doctor, showed him the log, 3 weeks of consistent readings, clear downward trend. Doctor was skeptical but couldn't argue with data. They discussed reducing medications, decided to cut the metoprolol dose in half, 50 milligrams twice daily instead of 100. Within 3 days of reducing metoprolol, the crushing fatigue started lifting. James could stay awake until 9:30, could make it through the day without needing naps, could actually function like a normal human being instead of a zombie. Week 6, average blood pressure, 148 over 86, 24-point drop. The ankle swelling was improving, less puffiness, shoes starting to fit again. Doctor reduced amlodipine from 10 milligrams to 5. Week 8, average 142 over 82, 30-point drop from baseline. The dizziness when standing was much better. No more room spinning, no more grabbing furniture. Could stand up normally without fear of falling. 3 months after starting the early dinner protocol, James's blood pressure stabilized at 136 over 78, down 36 points from his peak of 172 over 100. Working closely with his physician over those 12 weeks, carefully monitoring his response, they were able to eliminate one medication entirely and reduce the doses of the other 3, from 4 full-dose medications down to 3 half-dose medications. But the most important change wasn't visible on James's home blood pressure monitor. His doctor ordered another 24-hour ambulatory monitor. Before the dinner change, James's nighttime pressure averaged 168 over 96, higher at night than during the day, reverse dipping, the most dangerous pattern. After 3 months of early dinners, nighttime pressure averaged 124 over 70, 44-point drop in nighttime systolic pressure. His blood pressure was finally dipping normally, dropping at night like it's supposed to, giving his cardiovascular system a chance to rest and recover. His cardiologist said this nighttime pressure reduction dramatically reduced James's stroke risk, probably prevented heart failure, probably added years to his life, all from eating dinner 4 hours before bed instead of 90 minutes before bed. And if you want the complete protocol with everything I couldn't fit in this video, we just released our comprehensive hypertension reversal ebook, everything about controlling blood pressure after 60. The dinner timing protocol is just one chapter. There are 12 other chapters. Meal timing strategies beyond dinner, breakfast optimization, lunch timing, snack guidelines, exercise timing for maximum blood pressure benefit, sleep optimization protocols, medication timing discussions to have with your doctor, supplement guidance, stress reduction techniques, complete meal plans, shopping lists, over 150 recipes timed for optimal blood pressure control, everything in one place. Click the link in the description below, get the ebook right now, and comment below. Type trying tonight if you're eating dinner early starting today. Type your current dinner time. Type your current bedtime. I read every single comment. Your engagement helps YouTube show this to more people who need it. Comment right now. The complete protocol, step by step. Exactly how to do this for maximum blood pressure reduction. Step 1. Determine your consistent bedtime. Most people go to bed around the same time every night. Some variation is fine, but you should have a general target. 10 p.m., 10:30, 11, 11:30. Whatever your normal bedtime is. Write it down. That's your anchor point. Step 2. Count back 3 hours from your bedtime. If you go to bed at 10:30, 3 hours back is 7:30. If you go to bed at 11, 3 hours back is 8. If you go to bed at 10, 3 hours back is 7. If you go to bed at 9:30, 3 hours back is 6:30. That's your food cutoff time. Your last bite of anything with calories. Step 3. Plan your dinner for 1 hour before your cutoff time. If your cutoff is 7:30, plan dinner for 6:30. If your cutoff is 8, plan dinner for 7. This gives you time to eat at a relaxed pace. Not rushed, not stressed. Sit down. Enjoy your meal. Finish before the cutoff. Step 4. Keep dinner portions moderate. Not huge, not tiny, moderate. A portion that satisfies you without making you uncomfortably full. Think of dinner as your lightest meal of the day. Breakfast should be your largest meal. Lunch, moderate. Dinner, lightest. This aligns with natural circadian rhythms for optimal digestion and blood pressure control. Step 5. After dinner cutoff time, only water, black coffee, or unsweetened tea. No food, no snacks, no drinks with calories, no milk, no juice, no alcohol, no protein shakes, no smoothies, nothing with calories, just water or other zero-calorie beverages. If you get hungry, drink water. Distract yourself. The hunger will pass. Your body will adjust within a week. Step 6. Maintain the schedule every single night. 7 nights per week. No exceptions. No cheat nights. No special occasions. If you're going out to dinner, make an early reservation, 5:30 or 6 p.m. instead of 8 or 9. If you're going to someone's house for dinner, ask what time they're eating. If it's late, eat a small meal at home before you go and just pick at the food at their house. Be social without eating late. Step 7. Track your blood pressure once per week. Same day, same time. First thing in the morning before medications and before food. Sit quietly for 5 minutes first. Take your reading. Write it down. Date it. Track the pattern over 8 weeks. Most people see significant reductions by week 6 to 8. Step 8. Discuss this with your doctor before starting. Show them this information. Show them the research. Ask if they think you might be a reverse dipper or non-dipper. Ask if they can order a 24-hour ambulatory blood pressure monitor to check your nighttime pattern. Work together. Monitor together. Adjust medications together if your pressure improves significantly. Never change medications on your own. This protocol works even better when combined with other circadian optimization strategies. It works better when you eat a substantial breakfast. Research shows eating a large breakfast and small dinner produces better blood pressure control than eating a small breakfast and large dinner, even when total daily calories are identical. Front-load your calories. Eat more in the morning, less at night. This aligns with natural circadian rhythms for insulin sensitivity and cortisol production. The protocol works better when you exercise in the morning. Morning exercise has a more sustained blood pressure lowering effect than evening exercise. Especially for nighttime pressure, morning exercise helps establish a strong circadian signal. Tells your body it's daytime. Reinforces the day-night rhythm. Evening exercise can sometimes raise cortisol and interfere with the nighttime wind down. Exercise early for maximum benefit. Check with your doctor before starting any new exercise program. The dinner timing protocol synergizes powerfully with consistent sleep-wake times. Going to bed at the same time every night. Waking up at the same time every morning, even on weekends. This reinforces circadian rhythms, strengthens the cardiovascular clock, enhances the nighttime blood pressure dip. Irregular sleep times, especially weekend sleeping in, can disrupt the entire system and reduce the benefit from early dinners. The protocol works better when you avoid bright light in the evening. Bright light, especially blue light from screens, suppresses melatonin. Melatonin is a key regulator of the nighttime blood pressure dip. When melatonin is suppressed, blood pressure doesn't drop normally. Dim your lights after dinner. Use blue light blocking glasses if you're watching television or using devices. Or better yet, avoid screens entirely in the 3 hours before bed. Read a book. Listen to music. Have conversations. Let your body naturally wind down. And the protocol works significantly better when you avoid alcohol in the evening. Alcohol consumption after 6 p.m. disrupts nighttime blood pressure patterns, even moderate drinking, 1 or 2 drinks. Research shows evening alcohol consumption prevents normal nighttime dipping and can actually cause blood pressure to rise during the night. If you drink alcohol, consume it earlier in the day, before 6 p.m. Better yet, avoid it entirely if you're trying to control blood pressure. Discuss alcohol consumption with your healthcare provider. Let me tell you about Dorothy, because Dorothy's story demonstrates what happens when you implement the complete circadian optimization strategy. Everything working together. Dorothy was 79 years old. Blood pressure 178/102s, life-threateningly high. Her doctor was talking about hospital admission, IV blood pressure medications, constant monitoring. Dorothy was terrified, absolutely panicked. She'd watched her sister die in the hospital 2 years earlier. The thought of being admitted brought her to tears. Her son stepped in. He's a sleep medicine physician. Put together a comprehensive circadian optimization plan, explained everything to Dorothy. Got her to commit, got her doctor on board with close monitoring. The plan, dinner by 6 p.m. every night, no food after 6, breakfast at 7 a.m., large breakfast, moderate lunch, light dinner, morning walk at 8 a.m. right after breakfast, 30 minutes around the neighborhood, lights dimmed after 7 p.m., blue light blocking glasses for television, no screens after 8 p.m., in bed by 9:30 every night, lights out by 10. Wake up at 6 a.m. every morning, same time every day, including weekends. Dorothy implemented everything. No exceptions, no shortcuts, no cheating. Dinner by 6 p.m. Oatmeal with berries and nuts for breakfast. Salad with chicken for lunch. Small portion of fish and vegetables for dinner. Morning walk every day. Lights dim after 7. Blue blocking glasses. Reading instead of television after 8. Bed at 9:30. Wake at 6 every single day. 2 weeks later, blood pressure 168/96, 10-point drop. Her doctor was cautiously hopeful, said keep going. 4 weeks later, 158/90, 20-point drop. Her doctor was shocked, started working with her to reduce medications, cut one dose in half. 6 weeks later, 150/86, 28-point drop. 8 weeks later, 142/82, 36-point drop. 12 weeks later, Dorothy's blood pressure stabilized at 134/76, down 44 points from her peak of 178/102. Working with her doctor over those 3 months, they eliminated 2 medications entirely. She's now on just lisinopril and low-dose hydrochlorothiazide, 2 medications instead of the 5 she was headed toward. Her blood pressure is controlled. Her stroke risk has been reduced by more than half. No hospital admission. Dorothy avoided what she feared most, and she feels better at 79 than she felt at 75. More energy, better sleep quality, clearer thinking, can walk 2 miles without getting winded, can play with her great-grandchildren without exhaustion, can actually enjoy her life. Dorothy's story shows what's possible, not from one intervention, from comprehensive circadian optimization, meal timing, exercise timing, sleep timing, light exposure, all working together, all reinforcing each other, creating results that far exceed what any single change could produce. Share this video right now. Think about someone struggling with high blood pressure, your parent, your spouse, your friend, your neighbor, someone on multiple medications, someone whose pressure won't come down. Send them this link. Text it, email it, post on Facebook. This information could prevent their stroke, could help them work with their doctor to reduce medications, could save their life. Share it now. Now let me answer the most common questions. What if I work night shift? The principles still apply, but the timing reverses. If you sleep during the day and work at night, you want to eat your last meal 3 hours before your daytime sleep period. Your circadian system will eventually adapt to your schedule. The key is consistency. Same schedule every day. What if I get hungry after the cutoff time? Drink water, herbal tea, black coffee. The hunger will pass. Your body is used to eating late. It will take 1 to 2 weeks to adjust. After that, the late-night hunger goes away completely. Your body adapts, gets used to the new schedule. Most people stop getting hungry at night within 10 days. Can I have a small snack if dinner was very early? No. Any food, even a small amount, triggers the mechanisms I described, activates digestion, raises insulin, disrupts circadian rhythms, prevents the nighttime blood pressure drop. If you're eating dinner very early, make it slightly larger so you're satisfied until bedtime. but no snacking after the 3-hour cutoff. What about medications? Should I take them earlier too? Some blood pressure medications work better when taken at bedtime. Others work better in the morning. This is a conversation to have with your doctor. Show them the research on chronotherapy. Ask if your medication timing is optimized. Many people get better blood pressure control by taking certain medications at night instead of in the morning. But never change medication timing without medical guidance. Will this work if I'm already on multiple medications? Yes. The research shows benefit even in people on 3 or 4 blood pressure medications. You're optimizing your natural circadian rhythms. This enhances medication effectiveness. Many people are able to reduce medication doses when they fix their meal timing. Work with your doctor. Monitor closely. Adjust medications if needed. How long before I see results? Most people see measurable improvements within 2 to 4 weeks, significant reductions by 6 to 8 weeks, maximum benefit by 12 weeks. Track weekly. Don't get discouraged if you don't see dramatic changes immediately. This is a gradual metabolic shift. Give it time. Stay consistent. What if I have diabetes? The early dinner timing is especially beneficial for people with diabetes. It improves insulin sensitivity, reduces nighttime blood sugar, enhances glucose control. But you need to work closely with your doctor. Monitor blood sugar carefully. Adjust diabetes medications if needed. Low blood sugar at night can be dangerous. Medical supervision is critical. What if I have kidney disease? Early dinner timing can benefit kidney disease by reducing nighttime blood pressure, which is particularly damaging to kidneys. But kidney disease requires medical supervision for any dietary changes. Discuss with your nephrologist. Monitor kidney function. Adjust as needed. Realistic expectations by timeline. Week 1 to 2. Small changes. 2 to 6 point reductions. This is your body starting to shift. Circadian rhythms beginning to realign. Nighttime sympathetic activity starting to decrease. Effect is small but real. Don't get discouraged. Week 3 to 4. More noticeable. 6 to 12 point reductions on average. Circadian rhythms more synchronized. Nighttime blood pressure starting to dip more normally. Clear, measurable progress. This is when most people really notice the difference. Week 6 to 8. Sustained significant effects. 12 to 20 point reductions. Circadian system fully adapted. Nighttime dipping pattern normalized. Blood pressure reductions sustained throughout day and night. This is when doctors start considering medication reductions. Week 10 to 12. Maximum benefit achieved. For people doing the complete protocol consistently under medical supervision, reductions average 15 to 25 points systolic and 8 to 15 points diastolic. Some see even larger reductions if combining with other circadian optimization strategies. Complete protocol working with doctor can produce sustained reductions of 30 to 40 points or more. Those are realistic expectations from published research. If your results match these timelines, you're doing it correctly. If not seeing results, you're making one of the 5 mistakes, or you need medical evaluation for other causes of resistant hypertension. Before I let you go, 3 things I need you to do right now. First, subscribe to this channel. Click that button. Hit the bell. I release videos like this every week. Protocols that actually work. Research-based interventions for people over 60. Real science, not internet garbage. Subscribe now. Second, get our Hypertension Reversal ebook. Complete guide to blood pressure control after 60. Dinner timing is 1 chapter. 12 other chapters. Complete circadian optimization protocols. Meal timing. Exercise timing. Sleep optimization, light exposure strategies, medication timing discussions, supplement guidance, stress reduction, everything. Click link in description. Get it now. Third, share this video. Send to someone with high blood pressure. Text the link. Email it. Post on social media. Tag someone. This could prevent a stroke. Help someone reduce medications with their doctor's help. Save a life. Your share could save a life. Do it now. And comment. Type eating. Early tonight if you're starting today. Type your current dinner time and bedtime. Type shared if you sent this to someone. I read every comment. Your engagement helps YouTube show this to more people. Comment now before you forget. The night habit that raises your blood pressure is eating dinner late, specifically eating within 3 hours of bedtime. The research is clear. Turkish University, European Society of Cardiology, American Heart Association, all showing the same thing. Late eating prevents normal nighttime blood pressure dipping, creates reverse dipping or non-dipping patterns, dramatically increases stroke risk, heart attack risk, heart failure risk, death. Patricia dropped from 158/96 to 136/78 by moving dinner from 8:30 to 5:30. Working with her doctor, reduced from 3 medications to 2. James dropped from 172/100 to 136/78 by eating dinner 4 hours before bed instead of 90 minutes before bed. Under medical supervision, reduced from 4 medications to 3 at half doses. Dorothy dropped from 178/102 to 134/76 with complete circadian optimization. Working with her physician, eliminated 2 medications entirely. Real people, real results, real intervention with real mechanisms documented in published research. Important disclaimer, this video is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not medical advice, not a substitute for professional medical care. Always consult your physician before making any dietary changes, especially changes to meal timing that could affect blood pressure and medication effectiveness. The information is based on published research and population studies. Individual results vary. What works for one person may not work for another. Your specific health situation, current medications, other medical conditions, and individual factors determine whether this approach is appropriate and safe for you. Never stop, reduce, or change medications without consulting your doctor. Never make significant dietary changes without medical supervision. This is especially critical if you have diabetes, kidney disease, heart disease, or take medications affected by meal timing. Regular monitoring by a healthcare professional is essential when implementing any blood pressure management strategy. If you experience unusual symptoms, severe dizziness, chest pain, shortness of breath, or any concerning signs, contact your healthcare provider immediately or call 911. This information does not diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Start tonight. Talk to your doctor first. Show them this information. Show them the research. Work together to determine if early dinner timing is appropriate for you. Eat your last meal 3 hours before bed. Track your pressure weekly. Monitor with your physician. You deserve to feel good. Deserve to work safely with your doctor to potentially reduce medications. Deserve to lower your stroke risk. This simple change to when you eat dinner, combined with proper medical supervision, can help. Start tonight, but start safely, with your doctor's knowledge and guidance.